G'day and welcome to Surfing Life TV. We'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land and pay our respect to elders past, present and emerging. I'm Ray from Surfing Life, and this episode we have a special guest, 7 times world champion. Actually, no, 8.
No, 7.
Layne Beachley.
The eighth one got taken back.
Did it?
Yeah.
There you go.
The number cell went, no, you're still 7.
Still 7.
The 8th one doesn't count.
No.
We gave you an 8th world title, however, it's not an 8th world title.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about that further.
Yeah, we'll get back
down.
into that. Let's break that down. And rising star
Yes.
and winner of a Layne Beachley medal in her past, Sophie McCulloch. Guys, thanks for joining us. Guys is everybody.
Yeah,
It's all encompassing.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
All
Guy doesn't
Everyone's
mean
equal.
male.
Everyone's equal.
Yeah.
Guys, girls.
yeah,
Girls,
Yeah.
ladies.
gals.
Yeah, chicks on sticks.
Yeah, it's kind of
Ray.
like,
It's good to be here. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
oh, look, pleasure. And thank you, because I know it takes time out of your day. And Layne, we know how busy you are these
Fortunately,
days.
the waves aren't that good today, so I'm happy to donate the time.
Of course. That's kind of been my whole week. It's like,
Yes.
I've got to shoot this stuff. But that's okay because it's flat.
Yeah, exactly.
And the open beaches is onshore. And
That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
you come to the
Yeah.
sunny coast to do all your shooting. 'Cause
Yeah.
more often than not, it's probably going to be below average.
I love the sunny coast. I spent a lot of my youth coming up here, surfing it. I think it's got much more variety and it's a lot more fun up here. The Gold Coast is boring. It's like we've got 4 points and beaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many there's slabs and inside corners.
Yeah,
and
we have
stuff
more
that-
back beaches and stuff
Absolutely.
like Sunshine and Kawana.
Where's your favourite spot up here?
Well, my local's Maroochydore,
Oh.
but when it's firing, I think it's always good to go south of the river and head to Kawana and
Yeah.
Watala.
So what's your take on wave pools then?
I've actually only ever been in one.
Which
So,
one?
the one in Victoria.
Urban surf.
Urban surf, yeah, and that was a lot of fun.
Mm.
And for me, I was working on my backhand at the time, so it was quite good to just get that repetition.
Mm.
And I
It's
really want to
fun
go
on the
back.
backhand.
Yeah,
Was it
but I
cold?
don't think it quite mimicked ocean. I don't think anything can mimic the ocean.
Nothing
It's,
can
it's
mimic.
unpredictable, and wave pools you get the same wave, which is great.
Mm.
I'm gonna say you have to wait till you surf lakes in Yeppoon.
Okay,
Really?
I'll have to get there then. That'd be nice.
You're a fan?
I haven't surfed. I've been there multiple times.
Mm.
I'm due to go and surf it soon. We did last year's board Bible there.
Oh.
We had Louis Hine and Kirabel Olsen.
Yep.
And Louis said he's expecting it to be kind of soft because he surfed urban. And urban's a bit soft unless you're
Yes.
right in the pocket.
Yeah.
He said, no, the power's there. And
Ooh.
you can put the hammer down and send spray miles. And even like, because Ock is obviously part of that up there.
Yeah.
And yes, I've got some photos of Ock. He has hammered it and there's 20 foot of spray and he can still come around and go again.
Okay.
So the tempo's right with it.
Yes.
Because you know how Kelly's pool, to get it bigger,
Mhm.
they've got to go faster. So then the tempo's all out. Whereas this is a deeper plunge. To get it bigger, the tempo's still there.
Mm.
So, and again, what I always talk about with the best waves in the world have something to do with fetch and swell direction and wind direction. But the main thing that they have to deal with is bathymetry, bottom shape.
Mhm.
Pipeline is only as good as pipeline is because of the bottom. There's a mile, like 9 miles of amazing waves, but yet pipeline is pipeline because of the bottom. So surf lakes can have the bottom they want, so they don't change the waves relative to how they push the waves out, which is what urban do. It's by bathymetry, and then it means they can have perfect bathymetries. Great wave.
I'm glad I asked the question.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I went a bit deep on that one, didn't I? You're like, oh, did you? Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, that's a.
So they can change the bathymetry of
They can't
Yeppoon?
change it, but
No.
they've got 4 different peaks.
Yes, right. Of course. Okay. I was going to say that would be pretty miraculous if they were able to change
The bottom, yeah.
I've got to get you up there. Do you want to come up?
Yes, I know the group. I'll get up
Good.
there one day.
Great.
Yes.
Let's get
I
up
wouldn't
there.
mind tagging along.
Okay,
too.
yeah, let's do that.
Well,
Let's do it.
so if we are in discussions at the moment with Big Bad Bob Bain about whether you're going to do our board Bible this year
Oh, really?
in the pool.
That'd be cool. That'd be very nice.
There you go. And I don't have a
Thank
sponsor,
you.
so I can go wherever I want, whenever I want.
Exactly. Exactly.
So we just need to get O'Neill on side for you.
Yeah.
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 No,
I'm sure.
No, Bainey's keen.
Yeah.
Bainey's
Yeah,
keen?
yeah,
Oh, sweet.
yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
then come on, Bainey, let's do this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're
Let's
just
make it happen.
chatting with Solly as well, so we want to get an O'Neill
Oh,
team.
yes.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fantastic.
Yeah,
and we
that'd be
always,
awesome.
for the last couple of years, we don't just use men to test boards. We have a male and a female every time because girls surf, so they need a female perspective.
Girls can surf. Can't we?
Yeah.
Girls do surf.
Did you
doesn't
see the
matter.
movie? Girls Can't Surf?
I haven't yet, actually. I'm waiting for like the right moment to watch it, and right now I'm like up to here in study. So when I watch it, I want to just be like
in the zone.
in the zone, fully watching it. So yeah, I'm definitely interested, and I've heard so much about it. But yeah, I want to time it right. I know it's going to be good. Oh, that's
soon.
good.
That's
Yeah,
good.
stream soon.
I went and saw the debut on the Gold Coast at Hodder.
Oh, yes.
It
Yeah.
was excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, good crowd. So
Good.
yeah, it was heaps of fun.
Yeah.
Great story.
It is a great story.
Well, I got a question for you. Though.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. All of the girls are very competitive,
Yes, they are.
but I'm going to ask, who's more competitive, you or Wendy?
Well, it's generational. I mean, Wendy was fierce. You know, she was tough and she was mentally strong and physically strong and just had this ferocious appetite to win.
Yeah.
And then I took over when she faded out.
Yeah.
So,
But
we're
both of you have got that
We're
same.
both very fierce, and we're both driven through different reasons.
Correct.
We've got different intrinsic drivers that have fueled that behaviour.
Yes.
And so Wendy really laid down the platform, the paper. You know, she paved the way for me
To go nuts.
to go nuts. Yeah. I went nuts.
Did you ever?
Psycho.
And I forgot to grab it on set. I'm going to get my cameraman from offset to
Yes.
go and grab me
Yes.
your book.
Oh. Okay. Thanks, Jay.
Thanks to Jay, our cameraman. Thank you.
There's two
Oh, we've
copies
got
here.
2 copies.
Yeah, this is the updated version.
That's
That's
the
the
updated.
original version.
Oh, it is because it says update. I'm going to
Yeah.
pop that one down here.
Okay.
Let's chat about this one.
What about it?
Layne, I want to thank you for being so candid.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's a beautiful book.
Oh, thank you.
I
I bet you haven't read that yet. Beneath the Waves, available in all good
I'll plug it.
Or LayneBeachley.com.
I want to put it on our website. Can I get it on our
Please,
website?
go right ahead, yes.
Thank you. I'd love to sell it. We've been putting together as much surf literature from Australians as we can, or even around the world, to support that part of the industry. But I'm jealous that I don't have it on my site. So thank you. We'll chat about that offset.
Okay, we shall.
But it's an amazing book. Again, if you haven't read it, please read it. Well, don't please read it. Go and do yourself a favour. It's a fantastic read.
Thanks, yeah. I started keeping diaries when I was about 8 years of age.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and because it was such a cathartic output for me, because I'm a real headspace kind of girl.
Yeah.
And I used to process and analyse and criticise and judge and have all these limiting beliefs and all these fears, and they just kept going around and round and round in my head.
Yeah.
And then I was able to liberate that by just writing things down. So I actually even used to take a journal to contests.
Yeah.
And just if I had like a negative mindset, just get rid of it, because there's not too many peers you'd want to say, look, I'm in a really bad space.
Yeah.
Because they will
eat
you alive.
Yeah.
Come here, let me help you. Let me help you fuel that negativity. And when I started writing things down and I started reflecting back on my journals and my diaries, I thought, wow, there's some really interesting perspectives on life. And we don't usually remember the really bad times, or if we remember them, we don't actually remember how bad we actually felt in that time. So going back and reading my diaries was quite, it was cathartic, but it was quite surprising as to how much stuff I'd processed and got through.
Yeah.
And when it came to writing my book, they were my Bible. I was able to go back and look at some of the things and go, wow, I didn't realize I was that depressed, or I didn't realize I was that angry, or I didn't realize I was that happy. You know, I just you know,
Did you
kept
find
processing things?
Yeah. Did you find writing them down at the time helped take the power away from them?
Yes. Yeah. It took the force and the power and the fear and control that it had of me, and it took it away. And so then I was able to focus my attention on
Winning world titles.
Either overcoming them or keeping my life in perspective, or taking the actions that I needed to take to get myself into a better state.
Yeah.
So when I reflect on that, it made me realize that it's choice, not chance, that determines our destiny, right? We can choose how we feel, we can choose how we respond. And yet if you're not choosing how you're responding to things, then you're reacting to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're reacting to everything, you've lost control.
Yeah.
And as an athlete, I was, in the first probably 7 years of my professional surfing career, I was such a lay blamer. I had no control. Yeah, everything was everybody else's fault. It was the judge's fault. It was my shaper's fault. It was my leg rope's fault. It was my peer's fault. I was just lay blaming and pointing the finger, and I was super critical, super judgmental, super harsh.
Yeah.
And then when I became aware of that, I realized that was just all driven by fear, and that fear was just controlling me. Yeah. I wasn't managing it.
This is a great little segue for us, because this is the space you're in now, yeah?
Yes.
So that's what you're helping people with, all this stuff that you've learned, which is amazing. And to get 7 titles, you've got to go.
How did I do that?
How did you do that? Now, okay, real quick.
I'm
going to segue on my segue.
What happened there? Yes.
Which one was the best one?
Oh, well, look, I'm a I'm a 7 times world champion. I won 6 consecutively.
In a row.
I'm the only athlete in the world to have done that. Well, the only surfer. Sorry, there's plenty of other 6-time world champion athletes, but the only 6-time consecutive world champion surfer in history. But 5 of them were won in a state of fear, and that was 2-6.
Really?
Yeah, number 1 and 7 were won in a state of love. And the difference is I wasn't outcome driven in 1 and 7. I was process driven.
Yeah.
And the processes revolved around my equipment, my health, my fitness, my relationships, all of those things.
Was the fear of not doing it again?
No.
Okay.
No. I never had a fear of failure.
Okay.
Ever.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, having read your book, that's very obvious.
Yeah.
It's like
I had a fear
around.
of success, but I didn't have a fear of failure. Unfortunately, you attract what you fear, believe it or not.
One of Layne's things in the book, she says, we'd be walking around, just got on tour. I'm going to win a world tour. They're like, win an event first.
Yeah, pull your head out. Come on. Get some perspective, Gidge.
Listen, you've got to follow your dreams if that's your dream.
Yeah, I had a lot of dream thieves, including my peers.
Yeah, but that's their goal.
Yeah, what to drag you down.
Absolutely.
Well, look, women surfing,
not
as you saw in Girls Can't Surf, women surfing in the generation that I came through and before my generation, we were in an environment where we were completely devalued. And what women do when they're in an environment where they're devalued, they devalue each other and then they devalue themselves as well. So instead of elevating and propping up and supporting each other, we just pulled each other down and dragged each other through the mud, and we were very harsh. Let's just say it was a bitch fest. It was a cat fight, and it took a lot of time and a generational shift to change that and change that that level of or lack thereof of support and belief in each other, because women naturally have a scarcity mentality. You know, men.
It's a nesting thing, isn't it?
Well, it's because we're it's also because we're a minority the majority of the time, right? So if we're a minority the majority of the time, when a man sees a man achieve something, they go, I can do that too. But when a woman sees a woman achieve something, they go, well, there's one less opportunity for me.
Yeah.
And that's how we viewed it.
Okay.
So we prevented ourselves from being able to grow the sport to a degree as well. We were our own worst enemy.
So I'm gonna throw another question in here, and if you're not happy with it, we'll cut it. But I'm going to add it. I'm going to throw it in because it's something that I've been considering a lot lately in talking to people, and that is, I almost feel that there's a shift that still needs to happen within women's surfing and within men's surfing and in general, and that is the fact that we got to stop comparing guys to girls.
Yes.
Guys aren't better, they are different. Girls aren't better, they are different. And that's why when we go to the Olympics, we have the men's and we have the women's. Yeah. Stop comparing the two and enjoying the difference and going, they're the best females, they're the best males, that's it. Okay?
It's interesting you bring that up, because just yesterday, my little brother goes to me, oh, Soph, I beat so-and-so in an arm wrestle. And because of training and surfing, I've always been able to beat him in an arm wrestle. We haven't had one in a while. So yesterday I was like, oh, didn't you? And I was like, all right, come on, let's go. And we tied. And
Love it.
immediately I'm like, oh, what are you doing? Like, you should be able to beat him in an arm wrestle, like comparing myself to him. And it's just like, kind of got to face it. He probably is going to beat me eventually.
Sure.
But that's okay because he's different. He's a male
He is
and I'm a
different.
female. Instead of just going, oh, what are you doing? Like, you train 5 times a week and you can't, he does nothing and you can't beat him. But
How old is he?
he's 19.
Oh, and
He's-
how old are you?
I'm 22.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
But he's starting
Yeah.
to come
That's
into
awesome that
his...
you still want to
He's-
take him on.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
Let's use a...
Maybe not my older brother, but
But let's use a pretty crazy example, though.
Mm.
What if I decided that I was going to compare myself to a silverback gorilla?
yeah.
Well,
We're different.
You probably lose the arm wrestle.
Going to
Yeah,
lose
yeah.
that. And I may actually lose the arm.
Yeah, there's a good chance if you get too close. Yeah.
You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So let's
No,
kill that.
I'm all for it. I'm all for
Yep.
the elimination of comparison,
Mhm.
and that was one of the motivations behind staging the Beachley Classic was to get
Yes.
women surfing away from men surfing and have it positioned in its
It's
own,
their own space.
yeah, in its own space,
Perfect.
and generate its own publicity without having to rely on either the distraction or the endorsement of our male counterparts. Which
I
we're
love
never
the fact that
gonna
you
get
even let Tyler come, even though there was a chance that she was going to upset the apple cart.
Well, the biggest
was
mistake
so
I made
good.
is I invited Steph Gilmore.
Yeah, that's
She beat me in the
right.
final of my own event. These young girls had no respect for me.
I know, wasn't it?
It's like, but I mean, the premise behind the Beachley Classic was threefold. Was number one was to increase the prize money because
Perfect.
the girls weren't earning enough and the industry didn't believe in us and didn't want to invest any more in us. Number two was to get us away from the men and so therefore create our own marketing platform where we could promote women's surfing as a viable professional sport. And then number three was to open up the opportunity to young girls like you who were coming through with the aspiration to join the Pro Tour
Yeah.
and give the top 12 under 16-year-old girls the opportunity to surf against the best people in the world. And then when they surf through the qualifying rounds or the trials, whoever won that would earn the right to come up against me or Chelsea or Sophia or whoever was number one in the world at the time.
Yep.
And of course, Steph won the trials in the first year and beat me in the final. Tyler won the trials in the third year and won the whole event.
That's it.
I gave her 20 grand as a 14-year-old, said, off back to school you go.
Yeah. The youngest ever to win a CT.
Youngest ever. So it achieved everything that I wanted to achieve.
That's fantastic.
And it was all because I was dissatisfied with the status quo. You know, I was dissatisfied with how women's surfing was being represented. And so to know that if you have a vision for yourself and for the sport, then you can achieve it if you have the right people around you to help you do it.
Yeah.
I feel that dissatisfaction is the precursor to change. And if you're not dissatisfied with how things are going, then you won't do anything differently.
Yeah.
And I was really dissatisfied with how the Pro Tour was functioning at the time.
I'm still somewhat.
Yeah, I'm still somewhat too.
Okay, so
Yeah, there's
I'm
still
gonna-
plenty of room for improvement.
Yeah, exactly. Here's another call that I want to see happen. Okay.
One more thing to
Yeah,
that
yeah.
comparison point. People often ask,
So good, we don't have to cut it.
No,
Yeah.
I'm all for it. People often ask me, do you think you could compare, or do you think men's surfing women could ever compete against the men? And I said, yeah, in big waves, we can. I mean, I've surfed 6-man heats at sunset and beaten everybody. And then I've had to grab my boards and quietly walk home because it was 8 to 10 foot and I was very confident out there. However,
You did okay at Joby too.
I did all right at Chopu, yeah.
Yeah.
But when I surfed against Andy Irons and, Bede and everyone at Newcastle, I got slaughtered and the waves were quite small. But despite all of that, the best way to frame the necessity to keep women surfing and men surfing apart is the comparison or the analysis, the analogy of gymnastics. If
That's
you're going to
my
put
favourite
a
one.
male floor gymnast up against a female floor gymnast,
Terrible.
Yeah.
it's always going to be different.
I
Yeah.
watched
The power
it.
to
They
weight
do-
ratio?
Exactly,
Yeah.
but they do this. There is some
They do the
men's
same
floor.
stuff.
There's a men's floor, and it's ugly.
Well, that's your judgment of it.
I know, but you get what I'm saying. But you see what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah.
think the women's floor is 100 times better,
Yeah,
but we're not supposed to compare it.
no.
That's the point. It's men
Yeah.
against men on the floor. So that's how, I see that. So good. Finish on the
Yeah,
comparison. Great.
Moving on
The tour. No, we're still in
What
the
do
same
you think?
space. Yeah.
about comparison.
Oh, I think it's good to keep everything separate
Yeah.
because, let's face it, we're different. Like, everyone's equal, but
Correct.
we're different.
Yeah,
So
we have two different anatomies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
Yeah. We have hips, you don't.
I don't even have an ass. My mum always said, you lost it in the wash.
She didn't call it a bottom, she got it a nottom.
That's right, it's not there at all.
No.
So back to the tour and what's happening, not happening.
Yep.
I would like to see waiting periods separate. Same event setup, same event destination. Week for the women.
Yeah.
You get the waves, whatever there.
Mhm.
Week for the men.
That's controversial.
Absolutely. Then the men aren't complaining, the women aren't complaining. And
No, the men will still find a way to complain.
course they
If the
will.
women get better waves than the guys, if the women get better waves than the guys, then the men will never let it go.
But the thing is, you don't know.
No,
But
you
when-
don't know, but it doesn't matter. It's all luxury of hindsight. I mean, I was walking down at Bell's in 2008 with one of the guys that I said, I think it was with Taylor Knox, and he said, "Do you remember that year Matt Hoy won Bell's Beach?" I said, "Yeah, wasn't it like 1997, 1990
something like that.
Yeah. And he goes, "Yeah, you girls got way better waves than we did." I'm like, holy moly. Are you willing to let it go yet? Like,
Yeah,
I'm
like,
so sorry we
it's
got
like,
better waves.
so what?
Yeah, exactly. So that's still the hangover, the generational hangover that we're dealing with. And look, we have come a long way, but we still have a long way to go.
Yep. And we at Surfing Life, we want to be part of that change.
Great. Let's keep pushing for it.
Yeah,
How about a
yeah.
few more women on your covers?
We got heaps.
A
You
lot
would
more.
not believe how many we've had in the last. We would have had 50% women covers in the last year.
Brilliant.
This one's not. This one's
No.
Letty.
That's right.
But our main surfer
Beautiful
issue, the cover before this was Mia and Flick in WA.
Oh, yeah.
Cover before that was Steph. Cover before that was
So you've made a commitment to putting more women in your magazine?
I've made a commitment to put great surfing in and on our magazine.
Cool. Game on.
And that means women are there as well.
That sure
because,
does. Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest.
Mm.
The men need to pull their socks up in Australia at the moment.
Yes,
because
they
the
do.
girls are really showing us how to do it.
Yes,
so,
we are.
And I'm loving
Yes,
that.
you are.
Yes, you are. So, no, 100% behind that. We also have the first female editor of a mainstream surf mag in the world.
Great.
So we've always had to make moves like that.
Excellent.
But like anything,
Yeah.
you've got to be good. We don't put average female surfers in the mag.
Mm.
Speaking of which, you're in.
Speaking of not being average.
I'm average.
No, that was a really terrible
That was
way.
a bad segue,
No.
right.
Speaking of
not
which,
being average.
your photo is actually going to be in the next Surfing Life.
Oh,
So we've
yeah.
got a full pager of you in.
Oh,
full pager.
brilliant. Is that, did Trav take that one? Yeah.
Good Shrav shot. It's a good
Ooh.
shot, huh? Snapper during
wait.
the Usher Cup, but not with the Usher Cup jersey.
Yeah,
on.
okay. I think I know the one.
Mm.
Cool. That's exciting.
Hey?
Never had that before.
Yeah,
First.
well,
yeah, cut that out and frame it up.
Yeah, probably.
Put it in the scrapbook.
It's
one for the
straight to the
scrapbook.
scrapbook.
Yeah,
you know.
straight to the scrapbook.
Could go in the page of your diary.
Send it to the grandparents. They'll
Yeah.
be happy.
I still keep a scrapbook.
I have
Good on you.
filing system, so it's
Filing
not in a scrapbook, but it's in the filing cabinet with everything else important.
Get your younger brother to get a big A4 or whatever, one of those books that are just plain white paper.
Yeah,
With a glue stick.
yeah.
There you
Start
go.
sticking them in there.
Good old cut and paste.
Cut and paste.
Oh, cut and paste.
Yeah.
All right, I'll
Yeah.
Perfect.
do that one.
Pay him $10 an hour.
Oh, I can't afford that.
$5 an hour.
Just let him beat you
I'll
in arm
blackmail
wrestles.
him to
Yeah.
doing it for free.
Yeah, there you go.
Cook him
That's
dinner.
right.
Look out.
So if you're currently number 4 on the Australasian QS,
Yes.
but let's be honest, you're number 2. Because the two girls above you is Macy and Bronte, and they're on
Yeah.
tour.
They are. Yeah. Number
So
2.
Exactly.
What are your aspirations?
To be number 1.
There you go.
In the world?
In the world.
To be a world
It-
champion?
But yes, to be the world champion.
Nice.
Good on you.
And an Olympic medalist.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
there is that
Add that one to it too.
Yeah, that's cool. I love it.
But yeah,
You know.
first things first, the QS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're lucky enough to have another event on the calendar
At Cabba.
at Cabba. I love Cabba.
Good way.
So yeah, really looking forward to that.
So, and have you brought something special in for us to chat about?
I
What
have,
you brought in?
yes. This one's pretty special to me.
Okay.
It's it's the jersey from the Australian Board Riders Battle last year.
Yep.
Congrats to Narrabeen for winning this year.
Well
But
done, Narrabeen.
my club won last year, and I've been with that club since I was maybe 6 years old. And
Which club is that?
North Shore Board Riders. Yeah. And everyone in the team's like a brother or an uncle to me. So it was pretty special when we were able to take it out last year. And the exciting was really finished, and there was a whole lot of emotion. I've never had that kind of emotion around a surf comp. And so yeah, brought this in because it's pretty special, and
That's so
I wish I could glue it into the scrapbook.
What do you love most about the Australian Board Riders Battle?
It's fun. Like, I mean, every surf comp's fun, but it's just like this different spur of energy. And it's the opportunity to compete as a team. Like, surfing is an individual sport, but to have that one opportunity to kind of compete as a team and really lift each other up. Like, you know, Australians are pretty good at bringing each other down most of the time with tall poppy syndrome.
Yep.
So yeah, it's really cool to have that environment where everyone like claps you in when you come from a heat, and like do the tunnel and cheer someone up. I think Joel Vaughan got cheered up last week for doing a really good air, and it's really cool that everyone kind of learns to praise each other and bring each other up. So I love that. And there's good banter. Like, it's fun, it's funny.
It's always fun.
It's always good to, you know, chat with your mates and have a little dig here and there. And myself and Molly Picklum are always good at having a banter in the water. So yeah, it's good to bring that sort of side to surfing. That's why I love it. And that's why I'm so stoked we won.
Yeah. You deserve the win. It was a tough final.
It was, massive credit to everyone in the team, but Alistair Reginado on the last wave was pretty clutch.
And then just made it
Just made it across. I think his brother Jack actually like almost tackled him across the line.
Just to push him across.
Yeah, it was really exciting.
It was.
And yeah, we've definitely rewatched that a few times.
Have you really?
Almost too much. Now I'm super critical. It gets to my part, and I think I took longer than I should have, and you know, I only got a 6, and I'm used to getting more than that in a tag team. So now every time we watch it, I'm just like, can we skip my part? Like, I become too analytical of it, and so yeah, we've watched a lot of times.
A win's a win.
I was super self-critical also of my performance that day, because I had to do the presentation after as chair of Surfing Australia. And I kept getting North Shelley and North Shore.
And
everyone
I do remember that.
I was like, why is everyone laughing?
We're like, it's North Shore.
Yeah, I was like, I can't hear you. I've been at the beach for 3 days.
It's an honest mistake.
I've lost my mind. I'm out.
That's right. I'm tapping out now.
Tapping out. I'm exhausted. I'll get it right next year.
Yeah.
I love the fact that one of your treasured memories or items is to do with board riders.
Yes, that's so cool.
And that's what I think I love about Australian surfing is we do have that. And a lot of countries are jealous of us, and they try and set it up, but they really just can't. It's just part of our culture, you know. It started with the surf lifesaving clubs.
Yeah.
And that kind of camaraderie that happened there. And then the surfers went, well, I don't want to come down to do beach patrol. I just want to surf.
Yeah.
And the only reason I was part of the surf lifesaving club to start with is because I couldn't carry my board, so I had to leave it here. And then when they got the light balsas and then light Malibus, they went, I don't have to leave it at the club anymore.
I don't need you anymore, surf club.
That's right. And then they went, I can stick it on my car and I can go like the wind.
Yeah.
And that's the separation there. But I love the fact that camaraderie within Australian surfing maintains. Like, you're still in the board riders.
Yeah, and the board riders clubs act as developmental pathways.
Yeah.
They're a natural development.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things. Like, I think when you win, you get $20,000 as a club, and a lot of that went into our talent identification and training programs, and the club's grown, and the kids are loving it more than ever.
Buying surfers.
I mean, the whole reason
we don't need to.
Hey,
we don't need to buy
you guys are killing it.
But the whole reason that we started the Board Riders Battle was to build profile and capacity in Board Riders clubs. So it's good to know that it's actually achieving
You
the
definitely
outcome
achieved that
we set out to do it, because as you say, that camaraderie between the teammates and the clubs, and then just the battle between clubs too. I mean, we've got clubs that are on the same beaches competing against each
Yeah.
other. You know,
Well,
North
Manly's
State and
got like
Yeah,
3
yeah.
different clubs,
Yeah,
don't they? That's
yeah.
unbelievable.
Maroubra is the same.
Maroubra,
Yeah.
Cronulla. So yeah, it's really exciting to see. And it's as we build that capacity and profile, it builds the engagement, and it's a fun, family-friendly
Yeah.
style of environment for these surfers. So
it
people
is.
feel safe and bonded and connected.
Yeah.
And then you're improving your surfing, and then you get to come and celebrate.
Yeah, my favourite parts of the club events are actually like getting behind the barbecue,
Ah,
Yeah,
serving up sausages. You get to see everyone, and everyone's happy because they're getting food. So
Absolutely. Yeah, I love getting on the barbie.
I'd sneak a little bit of bacon for myself.
Yeah. One for you, one for you. But it inspires
doesn't
people
matter.
to compete and
It's
join
so fun.
and participate and jump behind the barbecue.
Yeah.
Like it creates that community
And
vibe.
build people, applaud them
Yeah.
when they won the finals each
Yeah.
month. and
Yeah.
It's heaps of fun. I can't think of a better way to spend a Sunday afternoon or Sunday
Yeah.
morning to afternoon,
Mm.
Even applaud you when you run down in front of the judges and trip on your leg rope and face plant, because I did that. And
Didn't
And I
Sheldon
wasn't-
just
I-
do that as well? Who
it was
it?
Jagger.
Jagger
Jagger did
Bartholomew.
it, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I missed it. I should go and watch the replay,
the
but I
replay's
think it was
funny.
pretty funny.
Yeah, the replay
But
was
someone was
very
telling me
funny.
that his interview after was pretty nonchalant. It was like, yeah, I fell. It
Yeah,
happens. And
but
it's
that
like,
is Jagger.
That's true.
Yeah, just like
Jagger with the swagger.
Yeah. Swagger, that's very cute. Yeah, well, did you do it at the ABB final?
No, I just did a local club event.
Oh,
I
right.
probably would have been mortified if I did it in the
In front
final.
of the national team and audience.
So I was happy with the one tag we did have over the weekend. It was a water start, and they put me first. So I was like,
Oh, yeah.
don't have to run, like do the sprint down. And I always feel sorry for the goofy footers because they carry their leg rope in one hand and then their board in the other, and
That's me.
it looks a lot harder.
Right-handed goofy footers.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
goofy footers, like, it's okay if they're left-handed.
yeah,
Because then
yeah,
it's in the same hand.
yeah.
But when you're right-handed goofy footer, which is what I am, running with your leggy on, it's a no-go.
Really?
Yeah, it's tough.
Wow.
You never thought of that, did you?
No.
And then what about Craig Sims? Remember Craig Sims from South Africa?
Yeah.
Goofy footer surfs with his leg rope on his front foot.
Okay.
What?
Why?
What? I know. I
Yeah,
don't know.
He must stand on it a lot.
Yeah.
I would think he says he doesn't.
Maybe he's just not aware of the fact because he's got booties on because the water's so cold.
No, he's spent a lot of the time on tour, so
Yeah, true. Well, that is strange.
yeah, I don't know. There's one other person that does it. I can't remember
Yeah.
who that was, but
Every time I see that, I go, "You've got your leggy on the wrong foot, dude. What
Yeah.
are you What are you
I know.
thinking?" That is, yeah. Oh well, each to their own.
he was the only one that helped our team in the corporate surf challenge.
Yes.
with or without the leggy on the front foot, he still was
He
the best
still
one
was-
for us.
Yeah, absolutely. He was still an outstanding performer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You competing again this year?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Surfing Life will have a team in.
Surfing Life better. But Wyndham are going to have a strong team this year.
Wyndham always have a strong
That's
team.
right, we do.
I could stack our team,
Yeah?
I've got a few people
That's
that I
true.
could
You do have a
drag
bit
in.
of connection.
Couple of people who can surf for us. But we don't. We always go writers, photographers, just the
Yeah,
people
just
putting
the
it
crew.
together
Mm.
should be on it. You know what I mean? The office people, not the pro surfers that I could go and grab and stack the team with.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I want to,
Just
because
these-
it's not about that.
No, it's well, isn't it?
Okay, well, I'll make it. I can make it about that, Layne. I can very easily make it about
Okay.
that.
Got it.
But no, I don't. I just actually, if I make it through a round, I'm upset
Oh yeah, really? Because
I can't chill on the beach
yeah.
all day.
You can't go straight to the bar.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
have to wait for another round before you do that.
Exactly. What else have you got going on?
Well, I'd say 60 to 70% of my time I'm motivationally speaking around
Yep.
the country. It used to be around the world, but that
Yeah.
doesn't happen anymore. And the other 20% of the time, I'm chair of Surfing Australia, so I do a lot of pro
Fantastic.
bono work for that organisation, which is why I'm so excited to see you holding that jersey and expressing your passion and love for one of our core events that we
Mm.
stage, the core programs. And then the rest of the time I'm doing charity work and the other 100% of the time I'm surfing. So
I love it. The other 100%.
I still surf every day, and then I've got my own online platform, which is part of my speaking, called Awake Academy, and
Yes.
that's all about cultivating growth, happiness, and connection in humanity, utilising all of the life lessons that I learned from travelling the world for 20 years on tour and then 10 years or 13 years in retirement, and the ups and downs and ebbs and flows of change and fear and all the other things that have distracted me and also enabled me to be who I am today. I've distilled those lessons into a self-paced 7-round online course called Own Your Truth.
Excellent.
It's helping people to wake up and own their shit
Yeah,
and trust
that's
in love.
so perfect.
Ideally, it's all about detaching from fear, taking control and designing a life you love. That's what Own Your Truth and Awake Academy is all about.
So good.
Yeah, it's fun. I do love it.
Yeah, and look, one of the best people to give those lessons because you've lived them, you've learnt them.
Yeah, it's all lived and learned. It's not.
But right in front of the public arena, that's the difference.
Yeah,
see a lot of people
lived and learned publicly.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what makes it
Without
far
social
more.
media.
Yeah, without that, at least you had that.
Oh my goodness,
But
dodged a bullet there.
But it makes the pressure so much higher. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you know what? Ash Barty says it best when she says, look, the only pressure on me is the pressure I put on myself.
Correct.
So therefore, to that, similarly, the only limitations we have are the ones we place on ourselves. So understanding the relationship that you have with yourself and whether you're intrinsically motivated or extrinsically motivated, and then all of the expectations that come with that, then determine how you respond to that.
Yeah, okay.
And that's what I help people break down, is I break down what are the limitations, what are the stories, what are the triggers, what's the relationship you have with yourself, are you able to manage your emotions, do you even know when you're in a good state or not in a good state, then how can you get yourself into a good state, because you've got to honour your emotions. You know, when if you're having a bad day, no, don't, stop it.
Yeah.
Don't. Well, actually,
Just
have a bad day.
Yeah.
You know, honour that.
Yeah.
Be okay with that.
It's okay to have a bad day.
And I've had my states of depression and mental health challenges and all those things. So basically distilling all of those life lessons to help people establish boundaries, create a really healthy connection with who they are through an awareness of their feelings, an alignment with who they truly are, and then awakening of their spirit by bringing in tips and tools and resources around meditation and breathing and establishing boundaries through creating a framework for decision making, and then bringing in more celebration, more play, more fun. These are all of the lessons that I share across this course.
Yeah, that's so good.
Awakeacademy.com.au.
Yeah, that's right. We'll chuck it up on screen so people can grab it. I really want to do a shout out to the guys here. We're actually had the privilege of hosting this in the Surf Museum in Noosa.
It's the most
We've got
incredible board collection I've ever seen.
pretty much every female Australian world title board here.
Except for Wendy both.
Except for Wendy.
I'm coming for you. I'm
Exactly.
coming for you.
Got a couple of lanes here.
Yes.
That's amazing.
You got 3
everyone.
boards with my signature on
That's
them. I'm obviously
right.
filling a
We
few
do.
gaps, aren't I?
It's a good signature though.
It's a
you.
great signature. We
See,
love
I
it.
as a kid, I think I was about 10 or 11, I went to a surfing contest and I asked a world champion surfer for his autograph and I was dismissed.
Yeah.
And then, so at that moment, I made a pact with myself, all right, if ever I'm famous, I'm going to make sure that I make the time for people and sign their autographs, because I know how I felt when I walked away.
Yeah.
Then the next day when I came back to the contest and asked someone else for their autograph, I got it. And when I walked away and got home, I couldn't remember who it was because I couldn't read it.
Oh,
So
okay.
then I also made a pact with myself that if I do become famous, I'm going to make sure my signature is legible.
Yeah.
It's also maybe a little bit too easy to copy, but but it's legible. You know it's me.
I couldn't copy it.
No.
My signature is really sharp and jagged, and you wouldn't know whose signature it was. It just looks like scribble. So it's something I'm trying to work on, but I'm not like, I can't do pretty cursive or anything like that. And I feel like the transition from S to M is hard. I don't know. I'm not artistic, so I'm still trying to work on it. Maybe I'll just write Sophie.
Yeah, just write Sophie. Sophie M.
Perfect.
Yeah.
He's a designer. He might be able to help you come up with something.
Maybe. We'll do that after this.
There you go, perfect.
Start working on your signature for when you become world champion.
Now, guys, we've got you've got to have sponsors to help us run these sorts of show, and
Yep.
they've been so generous. Not only are they helping us run, they've got a lot of look at all these gifts. These are for you.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah, look, here we go.
Oh yeah, there's 2 of
There's
everything.
Surfboard hanger. Put your favourite board up on the wall, or maybe a tighter one.
No way.
If it's a different plug system, let me know. I can
Surfboard
get you the
hanger.
right one
How do
so
you-
that it hangs.
Oh,
Cool.
Look at that.
that is so cool.
Clip it in.
That's
do the
it.
screw.
Just one?
Yeah, it just goes in the plug. Hangs on the wall.
Oh, it hangs like
Wow.
that with the where the leash plug comes out of.
Well, no, there's a leash plug version. We can do that. Goes into the future
Yeah.
and then hangs on the wall that way.
Oh,
so
right.
centre back.
Okay.
And that's a little hook.
I'm an FCS girl.
Me
Well,
too.
I can get you an FCS. That's easy.
Yeah, we're
no
both
problem.
FCS girls.
I can get FCS. I will get you guys FCS.
But that's a really cool idea.
It's very cool.
Thank you. I do have a few boards on the wall and a few boards in the
On the-
garage.
and yeah, on the floor. And
Well, why don't you
sorry.
paint some of them up? Here's some surf paints. Buy surf paints.
No
Ooh.
way.
Amazing.
See, I just
to
said
do.
I'm not artistic, so I might let someone else do it for me.
Yeah.
Have fun. Do some doodling
Do
or
some,
write
I'll practice
a poem
my
on
signature
there.
on my board.
There you
Yeah,
go.
practice
There
it,
you
yeah.
go.
I used to draw cartoons on people's boards.
There you go.
Oh.
So I'd go from, like I'd get that
Yeah.
and I'd put it onto the whole sides of the board.
Yeah.
And I used to love doing that. So maybe I'll
You can do another one.
do another one with the surf paints.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's fun. Cool. Surf
Awesome.
paints.
Now,
Thank you.
Very good.
I haven't got any scotch for you, but I have got some pure Scott for you.
Thank
it's
you.
a RTD, ready to drink.
Oh dear. Okay. I'll
It's,
wait.
It's lovely.
It's 12 o'clock somewhere, right?
It's 12 o'clock here, right?
Thank you very
And
much.
from where it Surf Watches,
Yes.
we have a lovely watch
What?
Wow.
and a lovely watch for you too.
Oh my gosh.
No, that is, wow, we are spoiled
That
today.
is spoiling us.
That's beautiful.
They hook up to your smartphone,
Do they really?
hooked into Magic Seaweed.
No way.
You press a little button,
Ooh,
gives you your tide, gives you swell,
Fancy.
direction,
fabulous.
water temperature.
Thank you, Eris.
Yeah, the wearer are killing it.
That's
Thank you.
awesome. I've never
That's
seen
shiny.
these before. Yeah, mine's rose gold.
You've
What
got a
colour
nice.
is it? What's on yours? Silver.
Silver.
Yeah, it's more your style.
Yeah.
What?
Silver rings.
Yeah, I'm all
Yeah.
about rose gold.
Beautiful. Surfing
Oh,
Life magazine. We got to have
yes.
that, don't we?
Thank you very
Lovely.
much.
Thank you.
Stubby cooler
For my scotch.
for your Scott. Yeah.
That's for your
And
Coke.
Kombucha.
Yeah, kombucha, yeah.
And we've also got a subscription, a free subscription to Fuel TV Plus.
Oh, really?
So you guys can tune in anytime
Oh, yeah.
because that's where this is running.
Because we can watch ourselves on
You
television.
can watch it, but there's a lot of other content you may love to
Beauty.
get into and watch.
Thank
Here's
you.
some tote bags to put all your
To
gifts
carry all our
in
gifts in.
from Fuel.
Thank you,
Thank
Fuel.
you.
Thank you, Fuel TV.
Maybe
Thank you,
we-
Surfing Life. Thank you, Wear It Watches.
Thank you, everybody.
We are
Loaded.
loaded up.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
As they love to say in the classics, we're stoked.
That's it.
Aren't we?
Maybe we shouldn't watch ourselves on Fuel TV though. We might get overcritical again.
Again. Guys, thanks for
Just
joining
accept
us.
it.
Accept
It is what it
It
is.
is what it is. Thanks for coming in, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
And thank you for the Surfing Museum for allowing us to be here today.
Absolutely.
Now we've got to go and have a look at some of those old boards.
Yeah,
Check out
I'm
the
excited.
boards.
Yeah. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Soph.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Layne.
Soph. Guys,
Ray.
thanks for watching and tune in again next time.
See ya.